If talent alone made people rich, why are so many gifted people still broke? He was known as the gifted one. Teachers praised him, friends admired him. Adults said the same sentence over and over: "You're going to be successful someday." And for a long time, he believed it. In school, things came easily. He understood concepts faster than others. He learned skills without trying too hard. While others struggled, he coasted. Talent became his identity, but talent also became his excuse. When effort was required, he delayed. When consistency mattered, he relied on potential. When discipline was needed, he told himself, "I'll do it later." Later felt safe. Talent gives confidence early and steals urgency later. Years passed. Others started working harder, practicing longer, failing more often. They weren't special, but they were focused. He noticed something strange. People who once asked him for help were now ahead of him. Still, he didn't panic, because talent whispers lies. Not by luck, not by talent, by discipline. It tells you, you don't need structure. You'll figure it out. You're different. And so he drifted. He jumped from interest to interest, from idea to idea, from plan to plan. Nothing stuck. The world rewarded those who stayed, but he kept leaving early. This is the first mistake that kills wealth before it's built: confusing ability with positioning. Wealth doesn't reward who can do many things. It rewards who commits to one thing long enough to compound. But he didn't know that yet. All he knew was that time was moving and his life wasn't.
What if the reason your life feels stuck isn't lack of effort, but that your attention is bleeding out everywhere? The room was quiet, but his mind wasn't. A soft blue glow filled the space as multiple screens stayed awake long past midnight. His phone rested in his palm. His laptop hummed quietly. Tabs stacked on tabs, ideas stacked on ideas. He wasn't lazy. That was the lie that hurt the most. He was trying. Watching tutorials, reading articles, saving posts, planning big futures he never quite reached. From the outside, he looked ambitious, busy, motivated. But inside, something felt hollow. Being busy is easy. Being focused is rare. Hours slipped away unnoticed. He told himself he was preparing, that tomorrow he would execute. Tomorrow became a habit, and habits shape destinies. His attention jumped constantly. A message here, a video there, a sudden urge to check something that didn't matter. Each interruption felt small, harmless. But wealth isn't destroyed by big mistakes. It's drained by tiny ones repeated daily. He leaned back in his chair, exhausted, not from work, but from mental noise. That's when the realization began to form. He didn't lack talent. He didn't lack intelligence. He lacked control over his attention. The narrator presses deeper. Focus is not the ability to concentrate. It's the ability to ignore. He remembered a classmate from years ago. Quiet, average, unremarkable. No natural talent, no praise. But now, successful. Not flashy, not loud, just ahead. While he jumped between interests, that person stayed. While he searched for motivation, that person built routines. While he consumed, that person created. This wasn't about working harder, it was about staying longer. That's when the second mistake became painfully clear. He treated focus like a feeling instead of a discipline. He waited to feel focused, waited to feel inspired, waited to feel ready. But feelings don't build wealth, systems do. The world rewards those who can sit with boredom without escaping. He noticed how uncomfortable silence felt, how quickly his hand reached for stimulation, how allergic he had become to stillness. Comfort had trained him poorly. Entertainment had replaced effort. Noise had replaced clarity. And worst of all, he didn't even notice when it happened. That's the danger of distraction. It doesn't announce itself. It blends into life. Distraction feels productive. That's why it keeps you poor. His potential wasn't wasted in one dramatic failure. It was leaking out quietly, one interruption at a time. He looked at the clock. Another night gone. Nothing built, nothing owned, just consumed. And for the first time, the truth hit hard. If he didn't learn to guard his attention, someone else would keep profiting from it. And they already were. What if the moment you stopped relying on talent is the moment your life finally changed? The shift didn't feel heroic. There was no dramatic music, no sudden confidence, no applause. Just a quiet decision made early in the morning. He chose one direction, not 5 goals, not endless options. One skill, one path. And for the first time in his life, he stayed. The first days were uncomfortable, painfully so. His mind wandered every few minutes. Boredom crept in. The urge to quit whispered constantly. This was new. Talent had always made things easy. Discipline made things honest. Discipline begins where motivation dies. He set rules instead of relying on feelings. Fixed hours, no distractions, no excuses. Some days felt slow. Progress was invisible. No one noticed.
But something was changing beneath the surface. His focus deepened, thoughts stopped racing, work became immersive. Hours passed without resistance. Talent, once scattered, finally had a container. Focus doesn't make you faster, it makes your effort count. While others searched for shortcuts, he built foundations. While others waited to feel ready, he showed up anyway. This is where wealth is actually built, not in moments of excitement, but in periods of boredom survived. Discipline turned his time into an asset. Focus turned effort into leverage. And slowly, quietly, he stopped being someone with potential and became someone positioned to win.
Why do people with less talent often end up with more money? Wealth didn't arrive suddenly, but positioning did. While others stayed busy, he stayed deliberate. Skills stacked quietly. Confidence grew silently. Wealth is built when focus compounds over time. He stopped chasing attention, stopped explaining himself, stopped trying to look successful. Instead, he built value. He noticed something important. The loudest people weren't the richest. The busiest weren't the freest. The ones winning moved calmly, slowly, with intention. This was the shift, from reacting to choosing, from consuming to creating, from effort to leverage. Money follows position, position follows preparation. While others competed for visibility, he built assets no one could take. While others rushed, he compounded. Results began appearing, not flashy but real. Opportunities found him, not because he chased them, but because he was ready. This is where discipline becomes dangerous, because once focus creates value, value attracts wealth, and wealth rewards patience. Years later, he stood somewhere he once only imagined. Not on a stage, not surrounded by applause, but in silence. The city stretched beneath him, alive with movement, noise, and urgency. People rushing, screens glowing, distractions everywhere. Yet, for the first time, none of it reached him. The narrator speaks slowly, with weight. Focus doesn't make noise when it works, it just changes your position. He wasn't richer overnight, he wasn't lucky, and he wasn't special. He was consistent. While others chased excitement, he chose depth. While others searched for shortcuts, he stayed with the process. Talent had opened the door once, but focus decided how far he walked in. Now, opportunities came to him, not because he chased them, but because his skills spoke quietly on his behalf. This was the final lesson. Wealth is not built by intensity, it's built by standards. Standards for attention, standards for time, standards for what gets access to your mind. He remembered who he used to be, scattered, busy, hopeful, and frustrated. And he realized something uncomfortable but freeing. Nothing external had changed his life. No mentor, no secret, no breakthrough moment, just one decision repeated daily to guard his focus like it mattered. The narrator delivers the final truth. Talent starts the race, discipline builds the distance, but focus decides who finishes wealthy. As the sun rose, the city below continued its chaos, but he didn't need to escape it anymore. He had learned how to rise above it. And so can you.